Hi, welcome back to the Cubbyhole, where today we're going to be discussing full-time RV travel life. Something that I would love to do, I think. I've always wanted to, well, not always, but for the last many years, wanted to do world travel full-time. I actually launched this YouTube channel thinking that we were going to be traveling. Obviously, we're not traveling a lot because COVID hit right after I launched this channel. But my dream is still to travel around the world as well as across America. And this whole concept of full-time RV travel is pretty cool to me. I like the idea of the way we homeschool already, being able to be adapted to it so well. I love that we could actually go and see a lot of the places that we read about and hear about and visit. We have friends literally like all over the country. Friends in Florida and Virginia and Texas and New York and Indiana and Missouri, Arizona, California. So we have a lot of friends we could stop in and see that we don't get to see. South Carolina, a friend of ours is moving to South Carolina. Another friend of ours is moving to Tennessee, Montana. So we have a lot of friends across the country in various areas, and just kind of fun to like go visit one and hit all the stops along the way, getting to that place, and then go to the next one and hit all the stops on the way, going that one. So that's kind of like a dream of mine, but I don't actually see that happening anytime soon for us. But what I do see happening for us is potentially doing what Jason and I did on our honeymoon, which was we did like a couple of nights of camping, and then we stayed in a hotel, and then a couple of nights of camping, stayed in a hotel, and kind of doing things that way at first, and then maybe like taking a week here and there as we can. We still have animals. I think once we get down to one dog and one cat, we would probably travel with those animals if needed. We have a really awesome neighbor who takes care of our house and our animals while we're gone. So at a massively reduced rate. But it is still a cost. And obviously we love our animals and they want to be with us. So we don't want to be gone too long. All that to say, I just finished up 5 days of the RV Family Summit, and I cannot say enough good things about it. It's the first time doing it, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure it's the first time they did it, and they had couple of technical difficulties. Not too many, honestly. I was shocked there weren't more. And even when there were technical difficulties, they like scrambled pretty well to get things up and running, or did it as a session later if that session was messed up to a point where they couldn't present it. So the website is actually rvfamily.heysummit.com. So I'll include that in the not in the comments, but in the information section. But it's rvfamily.hey, like hey, summit, summit.com. I think you can still buy. Yes, it says get access to all the videos from the summit after the live event has ended. So you can still buy the replay and watch all the replays. Some of the topics, like, this was so up my alley. I was like jazzed all week. Jason was like, "You're so happy, it's great." I'm like, "I know, I love this stuff." I just love researching it, for one thing. Whether or not it ever happens, I don't know. But they did RV tours, like people's actual rigs. They did that every day, so they had different tours, which was kind of cool to see. Like one family has a kid in a wheelchair, and just seeing how they like made it work. Like they are on the road full time RVing with a kid in a wheelchair. I mean, it's like, what? I love it. They did a daily wrap up every day, which I missed because it was like you were supposed to be on video, and then you got into small groups, and a really cool concept. But by that point in the day, like I needed to be with Isaac, and I needed to get chores done, and I needed to we sometimes we still had like school stuff and therapy stuff to do, so this like took precedent for the whole week, like just getting this done. But one of my favorites was they had a panel discussion on making money on the road. How do you afford to do this lifestyle? Another one of my favorites was how to live minimalistic and keep your favorite hobbies. Another topic was long-term life on the road, how nomadic life changes over the years, and what's next for our kids as they move out. I didn't take that one. I did get the replay. That was my anniversary gift from Jason. We just had our 26th anniversary, right, like in the middle of this conference or summit. So he said, yes, buy it. You're having a great time. Get it. That's your have fun. So he didn't like do it as my anniversary gift. Like we don't even do anniversary gifts, but it was just like, yes, you're having a good time. Do it, right? Sorry about that. And then volunteering in state parks as a full-time family. We didn't do that one. I don't know that I'll even listen to that one because I don't see our family doing that. That's not. We're not big volunteers on a committed basis like that. It's more like you need help, we're there, but we don't do like that kind of volunteering. I don't know why it just doesn't. I guess we all have our niche, right? Homeschool, how I learned not to lose my blank homeschooling my kids. I didn't watch that one. I might watch that on replay because we don't traditional homeschool. We don't really have a whole lot of losing our minds with that. RV trip planning, memberships, tools and tips. That was a good one. Just tons of apps now, like because it's gotten so popular, RVing's gotten so popular that there's just tons of apps out there. And so it's like, what are your favorite apps and how do you plan your trips and how do you decide where you're going to go? So that was a fun one. Full-time RVing with teens. I don't think I watched that one. I want to watch that one, I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember watching that one. Online options for homeschooling. Don't need that one right now. Because I know a lot of the options that are out there for online homeschooling and we don't really utilize any curriculum in that way. So being a part-time, full-timer, when you have a home base, you go back to multiple times a year. I liked that session. It was really informational. It's more what I could see us doing long-term, like 5 years from now, being full-time RVers who also have a home base. We've actually been talking about that for multiple years. We've talked about converting our garage into a garage with an apartment over top. The big thing there is, well, now it's everything, like lumber cost, everything is ridiculous, right? Any construction is crazy right now. But 4 or 5 years ago when we were talking, actually, I think we've been talking about that we've been here 16 years in this house. And I think we started talking about that not too long after we moved in, but we're on septic at our house, so we can't build any new living space without connecting to sewer, which anyone who knows that's stinking expensive. And we have a long driveway, so it's like there's the connection at the street with the city and all on the sewer system, and then there's the digging the trench and running the line back to the house, and then it's just more expensive than septic. I mean, we pump our tank every 4 to 5 years. We've never had a problem with it being, oh, you should do it faster, right? They always say you're fine, you're doing fine, and so that costs us like, I don't know, 4 or 5. I don't remember. I have to look it up. I actually track all that stuff, but I just don't remember it. It's like $400 or $500. And I see people's sewer bills, and I'm just like, ugh, you're killing me, right? Like so we don't really want to connect to sewer. We could possibly do self-contained, like composting toilet in there, like we were talking about doing in some of our tiny house concepts, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm totally off topic from the RV thing, but it kind of relates because we wanted to build the garage with the apartment on top. We could rent that out now while we're living here, and then when we aren't living here anymore, we would rent our house out, and then we would use the garage and apartment as our home base. Like, so being a part-time, full-timer was interesting to me, and seeing why they did what they did and how they did it. Starting and growing a YouTube channel, should you do it? Planning and logistics for travel, RV. So RV life stories from the road. They did that every day also. So they did They did rig tours every day. They did stories from the road every day, and they did a welcome and an end every day. The welcome was really just kind of fun, like oversight, like, hey, welcome to the day. And the people were so excited, like not the presenters, but the co-hosts were so excited. They're just like, you couldn't help but be like, yeah, what's coming today? What's coming today? So it was kind of fun. And then RV life stories from the road. One of my favorites was that, because it's just reality. Like, people would say, well, we thought we were going to go on a 6-month trip, and then it turned into this, or these are the problems we had. And I actually love failure stories where they failed, but they're still doing it because they failed in this one area and then they kept going. And that's just inspiring to me, because it's like, it says, hey, if you screw up and you fail at something, or you make some bad choice, it's not the end of the world. You just keep going. And so I thought that was really a really fun thing to have, is the people's actual stories of like what their RV life story was, how they started, how they got to where they're at. There's some people that 7 years they've been on the road full time, and they've gone through like 6 vehicles, like trying to figure out what's the right fit for us, or what's the right fit for us in this season when we're doing what we're doing. And I think that's another thing, is like, Jason and I both are very loyal people, and we tend to get a little committed to what we're doing or what we're in. And it's like right now, as we're kind of trying to decide, are we going to get a vehicle, or are we not going to get a vehicle now? Like, I still have a little bit of money left from my inheritance from my aunt. Do I want to spend that on this? Is that the direction I want to go? Well, with the money we have, we could get a trailer pretty easily, but can we get a drivable and have it be something that we would actually use? Or is it just going to be a rat infested, filthy, nasty piece of junk? And so trying to look at vehicles and figure out what we want to do. We don't have to commit, as long as we don't buy a lemon, as long as we don't buy something that's a piece of junk that we could then, resell in a year for the same money, or close to the same money, maybe take a $500 loss or something. We're fine. We don't have to like buy something thinking this is what we're going to be in for the next 25 years. So the stories from the road really helped with that, I guess, is my point. They had intimate sex time in the RV when you have kids. Didn't watch that. Probably won't watch that, just because don't really care. Don't have a problem with that in my small house. So not super concerned about it in an RV. We've been in hotels. We've been in Airbnbs with like no doors, and so I think we got that one figured out. Cargo capacity, rig weight, tow vehicle. I will probably watch that one later. That'll probably be one of the last ones, because I don't really find it that inspiring. We don't really want to do tow vehicles, but I like to learn, so I'll probably watch that one at some point. Full-time RV travel with a large family. Again, that's another one. We don't have a large family. We have just the 3 of us. So that will probably be on the back burner as far as my list of ones I'm going to watch on the replay. Alliance RV and the benefits of a towable, blah, 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 blah. Can't speak. Alliance RV and the benefits of a towable RV. All you need to know, I didn't watch that one. All you need to know about boondocking, that was cool, because boondocking in my mind was like, you're illegally on someone's property, you're parking in a city street, you're finding some park and parking just off the road a little bit so that you can go use the bathrooms at the park. That's not boondocking. So my concept of boondocking and what legitimate, legal, acceptable boondocking is are 2 totally different things. And I actually really enjoyed that session. So 1,000 Trails presentation and property road trip. Did not watch that one because I was watching boondocking, because they happened at the same time, I believe. But I'm super excited to watch that one, because a lot of people use 1,000 Trails. It's an annual membership, or you could get a lifetime membership. They had a giveaway, and they were doing discounts. I don't think we're at a point where I'm going to buy it right now, even with the discount. Unfortunately, a great deal sometimes isn't a great deal if you don't have the money and you're not going to use it. So hopefully they'll run this summit again next year or something, and I could maybe jump on then when we're closer to actually using them. But anyway, the 1,000 Trails people, I sent them a question, and they were on it. So super good customer service as far as that goes. But that's on the marketing side. So I don't know what the end user side is like, but for sure, quality people on the sales side of things, and the RV people love it. The full-time RV people. There was only one presenter that was like, I've never used 1,000 Trails. So I think that says something when you have a summit of that size, and then only one person mentioned that they don't use it. So, documenting your story. Should you start a blog, YouTube, social channel? That was another one. That there's a lot of social media, because a lot of people make money off of. They make some of their money off of that. Using social media tools for families to connect and stay in touch with friends on the road. So that was literally like using that instead of using it to make money, using it to stay connected with friends and family. Road schooling, a lifestyle of learning on the road, feeding a small family Feeding a Family in a Small Space, RV Kitchen Meals and Cooking Gadgets. I actually want to watch that one. Work Camping and Seasonal Jobs with Kids. I did watch that one because that was super interesting to me. I'm always like, how do you make money? How do we make money? Like Jason and I both have jobs where we work from home. We work remotely, and we can both take those jobs with us when we decide to do an RV trip or whatever. We can do that as long as we have good internet connection. We can do that. And mine has to be secure because it's medical. So as long as we do that. But work camping, I was like, oh, what is this work camping and seasonal jobs? Because I know other people that this could apply to that might be interested in this. And then also, I might be interested in it. I don't work full time, right? So this could be something that I could supplement our income doing, work camping and seasonal jobs. And this guy worked, this one couple, they were telling us that the husband went and worked so that they all drive there and you get free parking. It's not the same for everything, but they got free parking for their RV. And then he worked for 6 weeks and made $11,000. And I was like, that sounds good. That sounds good. I'll take that. And it was a sugar beet harvest. 6 weeks, $11,000. I was like, all right, that's good. That's good. Let's see, what else was there? Unschooling from the road. Obviously, those hit check for me, right? I actually know some of the people that were in those. I missed the panel, which I still want to watch, and then I did catch the tips for unschooling from the road. So those were both good for me. Marriage on the Road, I did not watch. Health insurance coverage options for full-time RVers. Super interested in that because our health insurance is ridiculously expensive. So it's something that may even help us like now. Be road ready before you hit the road. Simple tips and tools to help you save time and money on repairs. Obviously, I want to watch that, but again, I have a 6-month replay, so that's going to be down the road. Travel with a baby. Obviously, did not watch that one. RVing your way to a debt-free life. Did not watch that one. Harvest Host for full-time families. Did not watch that one. Harvest Host is an interesting program. I'm interested to watch that one to find out exactly how that works because I'm not sure how it does. How to keep your family connected for work, school, entertaining, and more. Andy Murphy from Mobile Must Have. That was a fantastic presentation. As far as just the information he gave, a little over my head. I'm not a computer person, so I was like, what? Huh? What? Made a lot of notes. I'm like, oh, Jason's got to watch this one with me later because it just he offers a lot of solutions and ideas on what works, what doesn't work. And since that's kind of critical to us going on the road, I thought it would be a good one to watch. And then I'm also wondering, like, how much of what he did could we apply just like attached to our truck so that if could I go work? Some of these people will go out in their trucks because the house is tiny, right? It's an RV and the kids are loud or whatever. So if they have a conference or a meeting, they'll go out in their truck and just sit in their truck and do their work. Well, I could technically do that. Like, now if we're at a hotel that doesn't have secure internet, I can't use Wi-Fi, like just random Wi-Fi, because of my job is medical related. So I could technically, if we could connect some of these RV ideas to our truck, then I could just go out in the truck and work. And it's obviously not optimal, but it is an option. And I could do something like NordVPN or one of those, but I tried signing up for them and then I got super frustrated because I'm not computer savvy. So maybe one of you guys could actually connect me with NordVPN and then I could use regular Wi-Fi and not be an idiot. I don't know. I'm not computer savvy. Anyway, back to RV life. There's a panel on traditional homeschooling, which we don't do. Traditional homeschooling, so I didn't watch that one. Working from the road with kids, yes, watched that one. RV gaming, Dungeons and Dragons. I thought it was going to be a little more about RV gaming in general, but it truly was just about Dungeons and Dragons. And I have found that there's a lot of homeschoolers who do Dungeons and Dragons. We do not. More Ride for full-time RVers. I'm interested in that one because I know More Ride from back when I worked in the bus industry, and so I'm kind of interested to see. And people later commented that it was super entertaining, so I'm like, yes, I want to watch that one. One of my other favorites, What is the Cost of RV Living? That was so good because they talked about the RV entrepreneur and live camp working and how do you pay for this and what is the cost? And So they gave some like options on how to make money, which was covered more in depth in that other one where they were talking about like how do you make money on the road. But they talked a little bit about that, and then they were talking mostly about like what are our actual costs, and the average cost of the panel people. There was 2,000. I'm trying to remember. I think it was 2,200, 2,400, 3,000, and 4,500. And then they kind of went through like, well, why is yours 4,500? Well, they have like 3 internet connections because they have to for work. And then they have, like they eat out 4 or 5 times a week, or more. And they're a bigger family. And then, one family eats all organic. So that costs more. And then another family, this is our budget and that's all we're going to all we're going to spend. And so they cook like all their meals from home. And so it's just kind of cool to see like what those cost differences were, and and then go, wow, this is totally doable. Like if you think about what you spend at home in your house per month compared to what they're spending on the road, okay, worth looking into. Especially like we can rent our house out for over $2,000 a month where we live. So that's like no brainer, right? Like that would make absolute sense if we decided to go for it. Which, like I said, at this time, we're not going to go for it. We're not going into full-time RVing. So family members, don't freak out. Homeschooling on the road with curriculum. So that was not for me. We don't really do curriculum. What to do with your house, renting versus selling. Did not watch that one. Absolutely want to watch that one. I don't remember why I didn't watch that one. I think I had to be somewhere. How POC are received on the road. That's obviously people of color for those who don't know. I did not watch that one. Choosing a home base and getting your mail. Did not watch that one, but I'm interested in it. It's by America's Mailbox. Finding your tribe and building community on the road, making friends on the road, kids, teens, and adults. Okay, so what happened was I watched that one instead of what to do with your house renting and selling, because I wanted, if you watch it live, which you can't do now, it's over, but if you watch it live, you can comment in the chat and they'll answer your questions. So that was one I was interested in. Having an 11-year-old, I was interested in how does this relationship building thing work. And that one was really good. That was by one of the co-hosts, Nicole. And then downsides and upsides of full-time travel with kids was a panel. What type of RV is best for you? I didn't watch either of those two. I'm super interested in watching them. I just didn't get to. Priorities, routines, and downtime, real days on the road. Interested in that one. National Park RV travel with kids. Also interested in that one. Also found out by the guy, I think it's the guy that is doing this one. I think it was Jason Epperson. Anyway, I found out that any disability can get the access pass. So I did not know that. I thought you had to have like a physical limitation to get the disability pass for parks, but that's for national parks, but that's not true. Any disability, learning disabilities, any disability that is permanent and life altering. You do need to have like a doctor's note stating that. You can't just go, oh, well, I'm deaf in my right ear and so I'm done, right? Like, no, you actually have to have a doctor's note. I think right now when I went on there to look at it, though, it did not ask me to submit anything. So I think that's kind of weird because Jason Epperson, I think it was him, said that you had to provide documentation. So I'm not sure about that. Anyway, loved it. Another one was telling your family you're hitting the road. So we're not hitting the road, family. Don't freak out. But I am interested in watching that one. Downsizing everything. What do you really need on the road? Good one. Like the cool thing about some of these is you can apply them to your house now. Like you can apply them to your life now, right? Hitting the road with confidence, transitioning from home to life on the road. How to plan a perfect campsite for your family. Road schooling, how to avoid educational potholes and school tickets, full-time travel mindset change, letting go of your old life to embrace your new life. So that's all the conference, like big highlights. And like I said, every day there was a welcome and an end, and every day there was an RV life stories from the road, and every day there was a big rig. I keep saying big rig, it just comes out. A rig tour. So if you are at all interested in full-time RVing or part-time full-time RVing, check out the RV Family Summit on rvfamily.heysummit.com, and you can still buy the replay and watch all that stuff that I just mentioned. I'm literally reading the list off the internet here. So I am stoked. Like, I am so excited to continue pursuing this. Like, I've been looking at RVs and travel trailers and things for years. And we ended up buying our rental properties. I think some of you guys know about that. So we ended up buying rental properties, and we decided to go that route. And now we're at a place where, okay, those are full-time rented, and we're working on, like, what do we want to do next? What direction do we want to go next? And how can we move forward in our lives in a way that makes us all happy and honors God and serves people? And I truly do see the RV world as an opportunity to share the gospel as well as just make connections. I feel like sharing the gospel comes from making connections. So I think it's a great opportunity. And they have a very tribe family mindset. Like, I already feel connected to the several people on here. I found out there's a person in Kirkland who's going to go full time soon. And, we offered our driveway to people in our area that are, when people are in our area. And there's just a community already. I love that. And as we move forward, stay tuned. I mean, maybe you'll see us posting our very inexpensive trailer or our very inexpensive drivable van or whatever. I don't know what's coming, but this is the world I see. And I hope that you enjoyed my very long chat about the RV Family Summit. We'll see you next time.